Hello, hello.
Yeah, hi Arjit.
Am I audible?
Yep, yes.
Yeah. Hello, guys. We will start the session. We have Navdeep here. Navdeep,
Hello guys, I hope I'm audible.
Navdeep.
Yes,
Yeah. Navdeep. We have Ekta here, our club president.
Hello guys, this is Dr. Ekta Goel, President of Rotaract Club of Young Visionaries. Today we have on board with us Dr. Harshit Jain and rotating Dr. Navdeep Singh Oberoi for a session on how to make effective PowerPoint presentations. Over to you guys.
so guys, before we begin, I would like to know what do you think is your level on PowerPoint right now? If you have to rate yourself from in 5 on a scale of 5, what will you rate yourself? Please mention in the comment section so that we can proceed accordingly. So based on the responses so far, I can see that most of us are average in using PowerPoint. So let's begin our session for today. First, I would like to show you a PPT on how to make an effective PPT. So basically there are some points which you should make sure while making a PPT. So let me turn on my screen sharing. Is my screen visible to all? Arshit, can you confirm?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
It's
yes,
visible.
yes. So the rule will be if you have any questions, you can ask on the chat session or you can raise hand so that we can unmute you and you can ask your questions. So let's begin the session for today. So how to make a PowerPoint slides, what all do you think we should cover and what all do you think we should not cover? This is from professional side point of view, like when you make business presentations or you make presentations to showcase to your client or something like that. So these are some of the tips that we will cover today, that are outlines, what should be the slide structure, what fonts and what color should be used, what should be the background, what should be the graph, and etc. So first of all, coming to the outline, the first or the second slide of your presentation should have an outline so as to give an idea what exactly the you will be showcasing in that PPT. So like in our presentation, the previous slide was a outline for our presentation for the today. Further, we need to maintain an order based on our outline for the rest of our presentation. So what's a good slide structure? Like you can see, we have used bullet points here, and we have used a very few words instead of writing complete paragraphs. So that makes a good slide structure. You may read this as a bad slide structure. I'm pausing for a minute while you can read this. Like you say, this page contains too many words for a presentation slide. This is what makes this complicated for both the reader and even for the presenter to present it. So this is something which is not encouraged while making a presentation. Going forward, another way to make a good slide structure is showing one point at a time. This ensures that your attention is of the presenter is towards you, and not he is not busy in reading the points in the meanwhile. So show one point at a time. This is exactly the same PPT. This will help audience concentrate on what you are saying instead of what you are reading. This will keep the presentation focused. And similarly, a bad slide structure will be such distracting animations. Never use them in a business PPT. This is actually really not required while you are making a presentation. Going forward, these are some font size. You should usually use standard font size like Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial. This ensures that the readability of the presentation is there. And at least 18-point font should be used so that it is visible for the audience you are presenting to. Similar example of bad fonts I would like to give. These are some of the bad fonts. You can yourself see that how weird are they looking. There is no need to use complicated fonts like impact or capitalize unnecessarily. There is actually no need for that. Similarly, good colors, like in this particular sheet, you can see we have used a light background with blue color, which is very much readable for the presentation point of view. So this is a good color which can be used. We can make other contrasts which are actually contrasting with the background. Going forward, this is some example of the bad color. You do not use such fonts which are difficult to read as they merge with the background, or don't try to be creative like there in the last point. Obviously, these are exaggerated, but it's just to give an idea that what a bad font can be. Similarly, this is a good background because we have used a light background and a dark font over it. Based on your research, you can even use a dark background and use white font or light font over it. It is basically for dark rooms. If you are using a dark background, if you know that the room you are presenting will be a dark room, you can opt for the reverse. This is again an exaggerated version of a background, which you should never use in your PPTs, because obviously you can see this is not something really good. This darkroom thing I already informed in the previous slide, so it has been written out here. Further, make use of graphs and pictures and charts as much as you can. It will help you help the audience visualize the data. Instead of writing raw data on your slides, it's always better to use graphs and charts for the same. You can even use word clouds, which helps to extract the meaning from a paragraph. And don't use graphs which are minor grid lines, or the font size is too small, or colors are missing. So here is an example of a good graph that can be used. As you can see, it is a well labeled graph, and we can easily see the difference between the two axes and kind of figure out what exactly the graph is trying to tell. So with the same data, we have made this another graph, and you can yourself see how bad it is looking. And there is no point of using such a graph where you cannot actually visualize what you are trying to say. because some of the grid lines have been hidden behind the front ones. Similarly, using visuals, we should not use unnecessary clip arts. Like, it's important you use clip arts at to some extent, but there is no need to use a clip art on every slide because it can be distracting for the audience, especially when you are making a business presentation. Also, this does not give professional look if you use clip arts in a professional PPT. Going forward, about let's see about what is visual positioning. Visual positioning is the way you keep the data on your slide, basically where you should put the picture, where you should write the text. Like you can see, the picture is to the top right on this slide and the heading is at the bottom. This is actually not a right visual positioning, as it as there is a rule of Z rule which we should use. Like, the most important thing should be on the top left and should go in a Z form to the bottom right. Within, it's a clear violation of that thing. Going further, this is the same slide, but we have made it look as per the right visual positioning. You can see the difference yourself. Further, the spelling and grammar is very important. It's very embarrassing if you have wrong spellings on your slides, especially when you are presenting in a professional setup. It gives a really bad impact. So try to avoid that. If you are not good in the language you are using for the presentation, you can seek help for others who are good in that language, whose first language is the same. Further, there should always be a strong closing and a strong conclusion so that you can give an impact while leaving your presentation. You should end your presentation with a conclusions or something based. If you have done a research, you should conclude what future possibilities are you looking at, what are the summary of what all you have covered till now. And questions, it's very important that you ask a question at the end of the presentation so that there is something you can talk about to the audience once your presentation is over. Also, it makes sure that the presentation is not ended abruptly, which does not look nice, especially in a professional setup. So I would like to end this presentation with, and will open the form for questions. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand or ask the question in the chat box. I'll be ready to answer. After that, we'll explore the PowerPoint. Anyone has any questions, he or she may raise the hands. Yes, Vaibhav has a question. You can unmute yourself and yeah.
Hello, Via. Hello, sir.
Hello.
So my question is, what about the starting page of my PPT? Starting.
It should be a title page. Basically, an idea what you are going to present in one line or something. And maybe you can have your name on the bottom, either on the first slide or on the last slide, as per your choice.
Okay, as precise as it can be.
Yeah, as
No,
precise,
no.
and basically it should give a very good first impression.
And images, background image, or will it be good? Background images.
It totally depends on the topic you are discussing. If it is something creative or something like that, it's obviously good to have images in the starting. But if it's a generic thing, you can actually avoid that also. If it's especially in the business setup, you can have the company logo or something like that.
Fine, fine. Thank you.
Any other questions so far? Looks like everyone is expert here, so nobody has a question. Shall we move ahead in that case? I can see Harshit, please let me know if we can move further.
Navdeep, we should move further.
Okay, so before we move further, I have a question for you all. Like, what expectations do you have? Is there anything specific you would like to learn, or it should be a general glimpse of what all functions does the PowerPoint has? So you can type your answers in the comment box. Since everybody rated themselves on an average 3.5 out of 5. How to make templates. Sakshi is asking how to make templates. What kind of templates are you asking, Sakshi? So I would like to answer the question of Nilisha first. She is asking, incorporating videos in your presentations, is it a good idea or it should be avoided? If added, what should be the things to be kept in mind? First of all, if you are adding a video, the major issue is sometimes you get is compatibility issues. Like when you are going to connect it to a client or somebody else computer or presentation system, you should check beforehand whether that system supports audio and video or such things. So that will be very much helpful before you decide whether to incorporate a video, because it's very embarrassing if you have a video on your presentation and it does not play. Further, if the video is relevant to what the point you are making, it gives a good impact. It gives a better visualization of the concept you are trying to showcase. So if the video suits your presentation, then it's very good idea to add them, but make sure the compatibility thing, because that can be very embarrassing at times. Further, Shreyanshi is asking about graphs and charts. What do you? Okay, she's asking how to put graphs and charts. I'll get to that. There is then Galaxy 830. I don't know who he or she is. I don't know which fonts will be better, but now I am clear. Nice to know. Use as generic fonts as possible, because it will help you prevent the compatibility issues, and also it will make it clear for others. Uh, Going further, Sakshi is saying we have to put same logos on every slide. So how can we make a template for that instead of copying it again? Okay, I'll cover this topic, Sakshi. Further, minimum number of slides in a presentation. Shreyansi, to be specific, as such, there is no minimum number of slides you should have in a presentation. It totally depends on how you want to present it. You can have a 100-slide presentation being done in just 5 to 10 minutes, and you can even have a 1 slide, 2 slide presentation being taking like half an hour to 45 minutes. Basically, it depends on what content do you have on the slides. So number of slides is just a myth according to me. It does not matter as long as you are using, as long as you are as per the guidelines of the like within the time limit. For a project representation point of view, there must be a time limit given to you by the authorities who want you to give a project. So based on that time limit, you can rehearse yourself, and I think number of slides will not be a problem. I'll take more questions. Vaibhav is asking how to add Microsoft Excel data. Okay, I'll cover that point. What type of background will you suggest for official PPT? For official PPT Galaxy A30, if you have some company protocols, then you will obviously have to follow that. Otherwise, you can use colors and background in such a way that it represents your company as a whole. Like if you are making a presentation for Dell, suppose, since Dell is all white and blue, so you can use that combination in your presentation as well. Maybe for Coca-Cola, you can use red as a base color and make presentation accordingly. But make sure you use a light background and a dark font over it, or vice versa in case of a dark room. So that's more important, I would say. Dilsha is asking a lot of times that presentations do not play out well played in a different system. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say when I was saying that whether you should incorporate videos or not. The most important thing that I would recommend for that is wherever you are going to make a PPT, at least reach 15 to 20 minutes in advance and test your system once before actually making a PPT. I know it's not possible in all the cases, but wherever possible, you should try that. And in case there is an issue, you should have a plan B ready so that in case video does not play, you can include a hyperlink of your video, which is stored on your drive, so that you can directly go to the video from the PPT itself so as to avoid minimum inconvenience at that particular time. Because actually it's very embarrassing to not to add a video and it not getting played. Any more questions or topics you would like me to cover? Or you have questions from me? So I guess everybody is able to see my screen. Harshit, can you confirm?
Navdeep, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So we'll cover few topics which have been asked implicitly. So first I would like to take the point of Sakshi, I suppose, that we have to put same logos in every slide. So how can we make that instead of copying that? So if you can see my screen, I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint Office 365 basically. So this is a new slide we have made. So coming to the point of Sakshi, there is very important feature which you can use in your PowerPoint. There is a view. If you go into the view button, there is a slide master thing. Once you go into the slide master, something like this will open. Here on the left hand side, you can see the various templates. And above that is this is the master template. So suppose like I insert an image. Insert suppose. Let's suppose I put this face. This is our company logo for instance. And I want it to be present on the top left corner. So as soon as I make the changes in the slide master view and I go back to my main view, normal view, you can see that the logo is already inserted and I cannot make any changes to it. So it will remain there even for new slides. Whatever changes I make in the master view will stay in the all the views, and specifically if we can see these are the different layouts. These all layouts were present on that slide master view. And if you want that only the title slide should include the logo or only the blank slide it should include the logo, we can do so from the slide master view. I'll show you that also once. You again you can note down view, slide master view. Now since the logo is on every page right now, I'll remove it from here and I want it only on the title slide suppose. This is the title slide. So I added logo here. So now if I go back to the normal view, it is there on the first title slide, but it is not there on the other slide. So we can make changes accordingly. We can make complete themes. This is just a logo we have inserted, but we can have complete theme set out of these. So I hope Sakshi, I have answered your question. Yeah. Then there was another question. Shivanshi asked about graphs and charts. So basically, we can make graphs and charts in the presentation as well. Personally, what I feel the best way is, since the data would be in Excel in most of the cases, so you can create a chart there and simply copy paste from there as well. Otherwise, in the insert option, you can have the option of charts. From the charts, you can select what kind of chart you want. Suppose you want a pie chart, for example. When you click on insert, it has actually opened up Excel only at the end. Here you can insert the data like first quarter sales. This is already given as an example by the PowerPoint itself. So you can see how simply we can insert the chart here, and we can label it as well. Like there is a whole lot of options with the chart itself. One second, chat window is overlapping. Like when we click on this chart, there is this chart filters option. We can set what all things we want on, like we don't want the first quarter to be displayed, we can simply remove that from this. Similarly, we can set names. As of now, it's row 1 and none. So we can actually either in the data itself, while when we were entering the Excel thing, otherwise we can do it manually as well. So this is how simply we can insert charts. But I personally recommend that you insert charts in Excel first and then copy paste, because it will be much more convenient to make changes in the data. And you can actually directly link also. I'll open the chat first. I hope I have answered you, Shivanshi. Shriyanshi. The question of Vaibhav is quite similar to what Shriyanshi asked. He is asking how to import data from Excel. So this is actually a very important thing, I would say, because it helps a lot. You can not only include data from Excel, but you can insert data from other platforms as well. Like you can get the data from the website, or you can get the data from various other sources. So suppose let's try for Excel first. There are actually multiple methods to do so. One is that you open the Excel first. I will try if I have an Excel sheet. Suppose we have made this sample raw data. These are basically 4 different tests, and you can select. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. In the Insert tab, there you can see an Object tab out here. So once you click on the Object option, it is asking what kind of file do you want to import. So there are multiple options. In this, you can select that you want that Microsoft Excel file should be enabled. So this is Microsoft Excel. Now you have 2 options. One you can embed it as a Excel sheet, or you can display it as an icon. So let's make it normal way. Let's embed it. Now this is a general Excel sheet. You can make any changes you want in this, and it will be stored as an Excel only. And anytime you can use it to add formulas like equal to sum, 5. So this is basically an Excel sheet, new Excel file embedded on the PowerPoint. And similarly, if you go on to the object tab, you can see you can even add Photoshop, Illustrator, Corel Draw, or anything you would like to add. Similarly, one more method that can be used is, I'll go to a new sheet. This was the Excel file. If you don't want to make changes further, if we just want कि one time data is पे आ जाए, we can simply copy and paste it here in the form of table. And there are other options also if you click on paste special. So you can use destination theme, keep source formatting. And in case you select this embed option, this is actually the Excel sheet you have embedded. If you like double click on it, you are actually making changes in the original Excel sheet itself. You can adjust the size of the tab. So this is another way you can embed your Excel sheet by simply copy pasting from that and using paste special embed. I'll show you once more. Right click, paste special, embed. Once you do this, you are actually doing the same thing which we did from the PowerPoint itself. I hope your question is answered, Vapor. Yes. That's great. Galaxy A30, can you mention what is there any specific animation which is not working? Because most probably what you are telling is a compatibility thing. If the software version you used is not compatible with the software version being used at the different system you are talking about. So that looks to be the main issue. If you can brief more about exactly what the issue is and go detail. Could you also teach us how to hyperlink? Nilisha is asking about hyperlinks. Yes, we can create hyperlinks also on this PowerPoint. Hyperlinks can be used basically if you want to redirect to a website or if you want to go back to another page on this website or something like that. So it can be helpful if you are making something attractive. Like you can create buttons with the help of hyperlinks and something like that. So if you want to add a website, suppose, if you want to let's show as a creative, I'll create a button for you. Suppose I insert a picture, suppose a shape. This is a button I have made. I'm writing. Suppose I want, if I click on this, I should go to the Instagram page of Rotaract Club of Young Visionaries. So if I right click on this, there is an option of link. It may be hyperlink in your case, but in Office 365, it is shown as link. Then I can actually link it to some other presentations or Excel sheets. Or if I want, I can click on it. This is the tab which will open. There are 4 different options. One is you link it to an email address. That is once you click, you will be redirected to Outlook or something like that so that you can send an email. Similarly, you can create a new document every time you click so that if you want a new Excel sheet, it is similar to what we did for embedding the Excel sheet. Place in this document is helpful. Suppose I want कि once I click here, I should go to the slide 1. This is also can be done using this tool. Similarly, if I want to go to the website or something like I mentioned, कि let's go to the Instagram page of RCYB. So I just have to copy the address of that web page. This is the Instagram link. I'll just copy it as this. So now this is a hyperlink. Like if I open this, I just have to click on it and it will open the RCYV Instagram page. In the meanwhile, I request you can also follow our page, get more updates. So hyperlink is a very powerful tool. You can actually use this hyperlink in PowerPoint, Excel, Word, whatever Microsoft software you wish to. I hope, Nilisha, I have answered your question. Is there any more question any one of you have? Feel free to ask. Harshit, can you check if I have missed any question? Shivanshi is asking, sometimes when we create PPT on Google Slide and then basically first you will have to understand, Shivanshi, that Microsoft Office and Google PPT, Google Slides is altogether a different thing. One is a software of Microsoft and other is a Google. So both are actually very big competitors in themselves. So they definitely have compatibility issues. So if you copy the slides contents from slide to this, then it will be an issue. Instead of copying, I would recommend you export the file so that minimum changes are done in that. There is an option on Google Slides to export. I check if I am logged in right now. Suppose this is a in the file menu. In case you download it as a PPT, I guess this is the way you must be doing. So, I guess there is not much change in this PPT and the Google Slides. And you actually have a presentation. You can work on the main screen. So is there any specific PPT you are facing the issue with, or is this got converted so easily? You can comment. In the meanwhile, I'll come to Vaibhav. He is asking what are these grid lines on your screen. So Vaibhav, these basically grid lines help me arrange the content on the screen. You can turn it on and off from this view. And these grid lines. These small dotted lines are the grid lines which helps position things on the PowerPoint slide. Similarly, guides are the center big lines which were coming. And even in case you insert a picture, like suppose I just copy and make it here. These grid lines and guides are helping me to mark safe distance, and it is helping that I arrange the items in the same straight line. And I can set different distances. These all are basically 1 unit. These grid lines, one grid line marks 1 unit of a slide. So based on the size of the slide, what size I am using, I can actually calculate the actual size with the help of these grid lines. So this is a good feature I usually like on my PowerPoint. Even the ruler above, you can see it is showing the size and dimensions on both the sides. So it is starting from the 0. 0, 0 is the midpoint. And if you go left, then it's basically like a quadrant we do in mathematics. So I hope that's helpful for you, Vaibhav. शिवांशी, as such problems नहीं आनी चाहिए. There should not be any problem because थोड़ा सा तो compatibility issue रहेगा because one is a Microsoft product and another is a Google product. So expect some things will be there, but overall there should not be any problem. And even in case of minor changes, it is usually due to you do not have that particular font or you do not have that particular things which the Google Slides is using. This is quite possible if you are using an older version of PowerPoint or if you are using if you are not using the original version basically. So can you please tell which version are you using right now? Maybe mine was Office 365, so I did not have to face this issue. Some of the features, like I mentioned, might be a little different in your PowerPoints depending on the version you are use. Yash is asking how to add videos on PPT. It's very simple, Yash. If you go to the insert tab, in the insert tab, you can see video option on the right. So you can add that insert a YouTube video from online video option, or you can insert a video which is present on your PC. Suppose I want to insert an online video, I just have to enter the URL. Suppose I'll do YouTube. Suppose let's insert this Tarak Mehta episode for instance. I just copy the link. I insert here. Unable to insert the video. Maybe because this video is prohibited for public use. But in case the video is public and it's allowed to copy that video, you can directly insert the YouTube video or other videos here. Otherwise, if you go on video on my PC, you can simply insert any video which is present on your PC. Suppose I'll insert one video for you. Maybe I'll insert this MP4 video. So this video is inserted. I can actually set this as per my convenience if I want full screen or whatever I want. And there are some playback settings of the video. This is something very helpful for you all because it's a common issue which comes. One thing is that how to start that video. It should be either on a click sequence or automatically or when we click on video. So sometimes you must have noticed this issue that you are playing the video and automatically the video starts playing and you have not even finished speaking. So you can use the click sequence option. So when you click enter, then only the video will play. Second option is automatically. Automatically means as soon as you switch on that slide, the video will play automatically, regardless of you click or you don't click. And the third option is when clicked on, it will not work as per normal clicks, but you will have to explicitly click on the video to get it played. So this mostly automatically, and all three options can be used, but mostly I personally use in click sequence when I know when I would like to play the PPT. Similarly, there is an option of place full screen and rewind after playing, as in you want the video to keep on playing infinitely. Then you can select this option. Similarly, you can fade in and fade out the video, trim the video, basic video cutting tools, and you can adjust the volume. So these are some basic features when you add a PPT, add a video in the PPT. If this is in click sequence, so as soon as I click, the video is played. So this is how video works. And make sure you always carry a copy of that video on your device, so that in case of any technical issues, in case of any, you can actually manually play the video. But if you don't have the video with you, that will be a big issue. That is something I will recommend, Yash. Hope that is helpful. Any other questions you can ask? In the meanwhile, I would like to show one of the very good features in the Office 365 you have. You won't find that feature in the other offices. So suppose I am making a new slide, how to make this is my heading, and suppose I have 4 bullet points. These are just random things which are coming into my mind. So suppose I am making the video. I've just typed randomly. So in this latest version of PowerPoint, you can go to design and go to design ideas. So like you can see on my screen, I can actually convert this to any of these formats just in a click of button. And if you see the original slide and if you see this slide, how good it is looking. So it is a premium feature basically in Office 365, and this is a feature I love because you can actually make PPT which used to take 10 minutes, you can do it in just few seconds. If you have to make this manually, it will be a lot of time consuming thing. So this is a good feature you can consider. Sarthak Manchanda is asking, is it advisable to add animations or transitions in between the slides? If the animation is subtle, you can actually use it, but I would not recommend it in a professional setup. At the most, you can use fade in, fade out kind of things in the professional thing. But if you are making something creative and you need to use animations, you can definitely use that. But for the professional point of view, I would not recommend, especially those uh, animations which are like too much. Like I showed in the previous presentation, it was animation. Similar type of transition also is not recommended. Because moreover, if you are using this particular transition, I would like to show transitions like random bars, or if you use this dissolve transition. These transitions even have impact on computers having low end system. So they will usually hang or give a very bad view if the system is not that strong enough, RAM is not so good. So it will give an issue. So avoid as much as you can. At the most, you may use simple transitions if you really want to. And in this particular, if I say Office 365, and in 2016 also, I suppose, there is very good features. Suppose I make a thing like this. We have, oh, one second, suppose I have two boxes. Box A, box B. And in the other slide, I duplicate this and I delete this and use a morph tool, design transition, morph tool. And even if I move it to like this side, just look at the animation ones. This is actually a new feature and this can actually help you make very good presentations. I would check if I have one. So I'll show you also how I've used this particular tool. It is available in Office 365 and even in Office 2016 as my knowledge, but it's not there in the previous versions. So it is something really good. Any other further questions? So I was talking about that feature. So I would like to show you one of my PPT I made for academic project. So it was a PPT on OYO. So I've used that morph effect on that PPT. If you can see my screen, this is how you can use that morph tool to make interesting PPTs. Basically, this was a timeline I showcased, like for OYO. So this is something you can actually use in your PPTs. This looks really nice. And like you can see in this particular PPT, I've used more of red, white, and blacks because red is the theme color for OYO. Shivansi is saying I have Office 2013 in which I have that problem. Shivanshi, can you get back to me over WhatsApp once this session is over? We can particularly look at the problem because I don't think so you should face that issue because except for few fonts, most of them are compatible with Microsoft. But if you are using a pirated version in case, then the problem might be there. So we can discuss it, take it offline and discuss it personally. Any other questions from anyone? Yes. Earlier, Prezi only had this feature of morphing, but now Office has introduced this feature, and you can actually make presentations similar to the Prezi tool in the PowerPoint itself. Actually, you can do anything you wish to in PowerPoint itself. So it's a good tool, and regular updates are coming, especially in this Office 365 with new and new features every day. Talking about the video I was telling. You can ask the questions in the meanwhile if you have any chat box. I would just show you a presentation where I have used this video, and this is something I made like 10 years back or something. So don't judge me for the PPT. Yeah. This is how I used basically a video in the starting of the PPT. Basically, this is definitely not a professional PPT, but yeah, this was just to show you how you can actually use videos in your PPTs. So if In case you have further questions, feel free to ask. And Harshit, how much time do we have on this session?
Hello,
Hello,
Navdeep.
Harshit. Yes, Harshit.
Huh. We can increase the time if the audience want, if the audience have queries.
In
We
case you
have
have
20
queries,
minutes.
feel free to ask. And in case you don't have, I would just go through PowerPoint, various options in the PowerPoint. Please confirm participants in the chat box so that we can see what you want to. Yeah, she's saying go ahead. So I'll just introduce you with the various options we have in the PowerPoint. These may be similar or different from what you have in your PowerPoint versions. So options are there in all the PowerPoint, but the method made to approach them will be different. So this is basically the file menu where you can create a new presentation or learn about PowerPoint and other things. You can open a new file, have the info. Info is something, if you are a student, it might be very helpful, because usually if you are copying the assignments from your friends, you would see that their name is there on the assignment, and you submit it directly to your faculty or whatever, and they notice that the assignment has been done by someone else. So you can actually change these things in the info settings, and you can put your name as the author and remove your friend's name. Don't do it otherwise. Do the assignments on your own, but just in case you are copying it from friends or something. Further save, to save the file, you can turn on auto save also. Export is something very good feature in PowerPoint. You can export it to make a PDF or a video or a GIF, and that can be very helpful. Especially you can actually make videos also on PowerPoint if you wish to. Basic videos can be made, like with the help of using all those animations and everything. You can set up the time slideshow, and after that you just need to create a video from this export option. Going back to the home tab, it has the basic things are these layout section, everything which is quite common, font size and everything. One thing I like is this smart art feature. I will tell you once. A video creation, Shansi, like just suppose we have made this presentation. We can just set the slide, go to the slideshow tab. We can set up slideshow timings. Once we set the timings and once we have the transitions and animations in place, the way we present the video on the slideshow mode, in the same format, the video, it will be created in the form of a video. Instead of a PowerPoint slideshow, it will be a video. So that's how you can make some PPT videos from the PowerPoint itself. Like you set in this animation or something, and once you do it, it will show these animations and effects on the video itself. So like I showed that Oyo presentation, you can actually convert that into a video. Things will move automatically and no need to basically change slides or something like. If we move to the insert tab, you can insert pictures from this device, online or stock images. These features might not be there on your PowerPoint because this is a premium feature. Similarly, you can add screenshots, photo albums, shapes, icons, 3D models. Smart art is something I would like to cover. It is quite a good feature. Suppose, I want to make there are different types like list, process, cycle, hierarchy. Suppose I want to show hierarchy of suppose an organization. So I just have to create this smart art and suppose CEO, CEO के अंदर suppose manager one है, manager two is there, then manager two के अंदर suppose Ian है या XYZ कोई और बंदा है. So that's how you can make smart arts on your presentation, and it is something really interesting. There are a lot of options whether you want a hierarchy view or you want to show a list and things like that. Yash is asking, can that video have sound too? Yes, definitely, Yash. If you put an audio or anything on that presentation, all the sounds will also be recorded in that video while exporting. So yes, you can have the sound in that video too. Basically, if you have used a movie maker, Windows Movie Maker, the things you made in Windows Movie Maker can all be done on the PowerPoint itself. Basic animations and everything using that. Similarly, chart we already covered. Then text box, header, footer. These are all the basic things which we all know, I suppose. This is the audio tab, Yash. In the audio tab, you can actually record your own audio if you, in case you wish to speak, or you can select an audio on my PC. And if you select that play across slide option, that audio clip will be played across the video, across the whole PowerPoint show. Then this is a design tab. You can actually create your own designs. What most of us know is that we can make these things, but we can actually change the color of these as well. If you go to this color option, there are some preset colors you can select, or even you can select your own colors, like as per your brand. These are the various options. You just have to change the colors as per your convenience. And that will be stored as a custom thing. Suppose I change this green to blue. So that's how the changes are being done in all the slides. So these themes is an important feature. In the themes only you get the slide size option. This is something you should make sure while making a PPT, like whether the presenter where you will be presenting are mostly either in 4:3 ratio or 16:9. So depending on that, in case you do not use as per the presenter thing, there will be white spaces on bottom and top in while presenting on the projector or something like that. Similarly, you can select on this. Dishant, as per as I know, all the users can change the design colors. I don't think it's a premium feature. Everybody can. There is an option in this. There are predefined also, and you can actually change the colors, fonts, effects, and everything from the theme itself. What's your question, Shriyansi? I did not get your question. One at the right corner. Similarly, these are the transitions thing which can be used while, like I showed you the morph effect, there are various other effects and you can actually select effect options from here, set the duration, sound, etc. everything. Similarly, in the animation, we can set animations within a slide on particular objects, so as like we used in that OYO presentation. Design ideas, I already told Shivanshi. This is like, suppose I don't have a theme, I'll create a new. It's a premium feature, Shivanshi. Suppose I just have a new slide and just a random thing. Suppose I entered. This is the slide which is looking in the raw form. I'll just go to this design ideas tab and you can see where the PowerPoint using artificial intelligence has already created these designs for us. You can directly use them. And in case if we had some things like money, labor, instead of these, or maybe maybe- and then go to this design ideas. You can see it has also recommended the icons based on that because our names did not have any such thing, but these things have, so we can actually use this feature. It is very handy feature are if you have to make presentations within few minutes and you have to make effective presentation. Yes, it's a premium only feature. I'm using a Office 365 Pro version, so it is included in that. Otherwise, you will not get this feature. You can definitely try this feature by downloading Office 365. You can get 1 month free trial on that. Yes, these icons appear on their own. Rupee is not just a word. Basically, anything words which the computer identifies as common English words, it will identify them and give, like in labor, it has already shown 3 people. Money, for it has shown the rupee symbol. And in case of rupee, it has shown a graph. So you can get, yes, icons similar to what you are typing based on the artificial intelligence. So it's a very handy feature which can be used. You can try this Office 365. I will actually recommend you should try at least once by downloading from the official website. And you get 1 month free trial, and I'm sure you would love this office. Further, if you go to review feature, we can use it to check the spellings just in case we have made any mistakes or anything like that. Further, there is a translation feature if you want our presentation to be converted to any other languages. Uh, there are some free templates, and otherwise you can, yes, you can download the templates from the internet. But if you have the premium office, you can actually download the themes and templates within the PowerPoint itself. So that's something very good feature you should try once. Similarly, if you go to the view, this is the normal view. In case of outline view, you can see the headings and subheadings on your left hand side. Slide sorter view is handy in case you have made the presentation and you just want to rearrange the slides. Similarly, you can set up notes for a presentation so that while you are actually presenting, you need not look at on the PPT again and again. You can refer to the notes. And similarly, there is a full screen reading mode on this PowerPoint. So slide master, I already informed. Similarly, just like for the slides view, there is a master view for the handouts and the notes as well. This notes page and the handout page that can be used. You can actually convert your whole presentation into grayscale or black and white in case you need. And if you are stuck anywhere, the best option I would suggest is just press the F1 key, help menu. It's a very vast help menu. You can find actually almost everything there. And even in case then also you are not satisfied with what you are doing, you can actually just make a Google search. There are Microsoft tutorials already on there. So in case if we have any further questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll be ending the session. And Rotractor Harshit has downloaded some notes for Office 2013, which he'll be sharing on the group after this video. Icon feature as in Nilisha? Are you talking about this icon or are you talking about that the rupee symbol was automatically generated? Uh, okay, automatic. Basically, it's a design idea feature. It's only available in Office 365 premium version. Otherwise, it's not available. And quite a good feature. If you, in case you try, I'll share the link of the Office 365 on the group after this. Anybody has any further questions? We'll wait for another minute if we have any questions. Otherwise, we'll end this meeting. And at any point of time, you can directly contact me on the group or on my WhatsApp number. In case you have any doubts, I'm there to help. So I hope you must have gained some knowledge about PowerPoint today. We have similar sessions lined up for Excel and Word tomorrow and day after. We'll share the links for that also on the group. You feel free to join them as well. So I guess nobody has questions. Arshad, you can take over. Since nobody has any questions, so we'll be ending the meeting now. I thank you everyone for joining this session. I hope it was fruitful for you. In case of any feedback, you are most welcome to give us feedback so that we can improve the things in the upcoming webinars. Thank you so much for joining. Have a nice day. Yeah, happy quarantine. Arshita, I'm ending this. Oh,
Yes, Navdeep.
yeah.